So, hi guys, hi everyone. And before starting, I would recommend that use headphones. Okay. So, see, my setup is not that good, but I hope that you will like my content, the content that I am going to put out. All right. Thank you. So, let's see. Let's start with ecology. Okay. This is a very important part of biology, and you can see that the exam that I will be going around will be this NEET. All right. And you have seen that the papers are getting easier. That is, they're getting more NCERT based. So I'll keep it to that. And if you check out previous year's question, that you can see 10 questions from this part. This 10 questions is equivalent to 40 marks. All right. So ecology is one of the most important chapters or important part of the syllabus. Okay, so let's start with it. And I don't know how long or what I'll be able to do, but what I want to do is I always want to start with the topics that are very important, most important. All right, so let's start. What is ecology? Now, I will like to emphasize on the thing that I'm saying that the paper is getting more NCERT based. It is almost NCERT based, but there are always chances that things come from outside. But as you know, that if a paper is on the worst of the days, on the worst, if I say a worst of the days, 85% will be NCERT on the worst cases. But as we can see, we can now expect a paper that is more or less 95% NCERT, especially in the biology region. So let's do that. But just as from NCERT the portion is 95%, so and from outside let's say 5%, so we should also treat the outside part as 5%. Okay, let's not divulge into this 5% more than the amount of marks it will provide us. That is, don't get way too occupied with the 95% topic that you just keep there. 95% yielding topics. That is, what is the 95%? That is nothing but this book, NCERT. Okay, we will. This is the must, and the 5% is optional. All right, remember that this is must. So I'll follow this. And anyone who will be watching it, I hope that you are doing great. I hope you're having a good time. And now let's start. So let's start. Okay, just use red. Okay. So let's start with some facts. So who gave the term? The term ecology was given by Rita. All right. And what does ecology meaning? So what is the definition of ecology? It is the interaction between organisms and environment. Between organisms and environment. All right. It is the interaction between organisms and environment. So if you want to visualize it, just see it as this. Okay, organisms and here is, let me write, environment. I'm defining organisms and environment. Okay, and this relation is nothing but ecology. Now what is organisms and like what are the examples of organisms, right? You might ask, and it's a legit question, so let me just write it, right? Plants, animals and microbes, etc. Means all the living organisms and all those constitute the organism. And what is environment? Now here is an important part. So environment has two components, right? What are the two components of environment? So the first component of environment is biotic. That is, what is biotic, guys? It is the living plants, and means what is the living organisms, and what is abiotic. Don't worry, I'm right. I will write everything. Okay. So even if my speech is not that clear, you will see it happening on the board. Okay, means on this digital. Yeah, you will see it here. Okay, so don't need to worry about that. So biotic. What is the biotic component of our environment, right? So the biotic component of our environment consists of, again, plants, animals, and microbes. So what does this mean? Like here is also the same thing and here is also the same. So don't get confused. I'm saying it in a bit. And what are the abiotic factors? Temperature. Can you tell me which one is the most important? It is written in NCERT. Light, air, soil texture, humidity. Humidity is in air and soil. Which is the most important out of these four? It is written in NCERT. I will come. So what does this mean? It means that ecology is the study or the interaction between organisms and environment. Now environment may consist of other organisms as well. So let's say animals, humans interacting with various other animals like a lion. Let's say lion. So that will be also constitute within the ecological science, right? So what type of interaction will that be? Predator, lion. Okay, I will I will come to those relationships later. But lion and let's say a man. What is a man? This is a predator. So this is predation chain. Okay, so if you know, you know it. Okay, so just to explain, I'm just writing it there. No need to focus if you are new. Just means if you're just starting the chapter, no need to focus. But I'll come back to it at the end of the first chapter. Okay, so let's go. Now let's state another fact. Okay, what is another fact? Father of ecology in India. Father of ecology in India. So that will be Dr. Ramdev Mishra. Okay, this is a fact, guys, and this is a bit extra. I know if you want, you can study. Means you should know some facts. You can never know what is the 5%, and let's keep it to that. Okay, and now next, let's define some important terms. Okay, so let's start with some important terms. Before we start the chapter, I want to go through NCERT, but let's see some logical things. Okay, so like in NCERT there are many words written, and sometimes the question comes based on that words, but sometimes they are not so easy. Means not so nicely defined in NCERT. So let's go through them. Okay, so first is habitat. What is a habitat? And the second term we will go through is microhabitat. Okay, I will mark the things that I feel that are more important. Okay, this is as per what I feel. Okay? And number 3 will be niche. Niche. All right. So out of these 3 that I'm telling now, I think this and these are most important. Okay? So let's start. And we will do them individually. So what is habitat? Habitat is a specific place or locality or portion of ecosystem when an organism lives I don't know what just happened, so let's just forget about that. Where an organism lives. Okay. So what is habitat? Habitat is a specific place, but locality or portion of the ecosystem where an organism lives. Now, what habitat can have many species of organisms? Okay. What is a microhabitat? Microhabitat is the specific area. You see this? This is a broad term. Okay. So it is the specific area in habitat. I will define. Okay. Specific area in an habitat. In a habitat. I will define. Let's take an example. Okay. To make it a bit clearer. So let's say a rabbit lives inside a burrow. You know the hole in which burrow, burrow, in which a rabbit lives. Burrow, inside a burrow in a forest. So can you define which one is a microhabitat and which one is the habitat? Okay. So the burrow is the microhabitat. Okay. And the forest is the habitat. This is the specific area. This is a more specific of the specific area. It is a specific area in a habitat. Okay. So I think it will be clear. Now what is niche? Now this is very important. Okay. Now what is niche? Niche. First of all, let's say the term was given by Grinnell. Okay. The term was given by Grinnell. Okay. Now next. Next what is the definition? An ecological component of habitat which is delimited, which is defined by the functioning of an organism. Okay, I wrote this spelling wrong, so let me just rub it out. Functioning. Okay, so that's the spelling. Now there are some things extra like that ecotype, ecad, and all those, but I want to give me a moment. Yes. Now also let's write this. Okay, this is as per NCERT. Okay, each organism you can refer to your NCERT guys. It is I'm writing what is written in NCERT now. Okay, of niche, of which term? Niche. Okay, so as per NCERT it is written as each organism has an invariably defined range of conditions invariably defined range of condition that it can tolerate. Diversity in resources that it utilizes. and a distinct functional role in the ecological system. All these together comprises of a niche. So let's see how this two. I wrote just a line here, and as per NCERT, it is the full this part. Okay, so I just wrote one thing in here: ecological component of a habitat, which is defined by the functioning of an organism. Now, what is the functioning? The functioning is the range of conditions that it can tolerate, diversity in resources that it utilizes, and a distinct functional role that it plays. So these are all what is the defined by the functioning of an organism. Now this is written in NCERT, okay, and this is the more, I will say, relevant one as per the NEET exam is concerned. Okay, now let's not go, because in NEET what is written in NCERT is the final word and nothing more. Okay, so and also I would like to say one more thing, that I just remembered that this father of ecology in India, right? The name Ramdev Mishra, the name Ramdev Mishra is given at the start of the chapter of ecology. So this is very important. Okay, don't forget Ramdev Mishra. It might seem out of syllabus, but it is relevant because it is written. Okay, so do not skip that. Uh, I'm sorry. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go over more terms. Okay, so let's first go some more terms. Now these terms which I am going to write are not really inside NCERT, but still let's go over them in case sometimes whatever you guys understand, right? You guys are intelligent, you will know what to skip, and this is not very important, but they may come. Ecotypes. Okay, let me just increase the page a bit. Ecotypes. Now ecad or ecophenes. If you guys want to skip this part, you can, and you can just write the definitions when I write them, but you can just skip them. Okay, ecophenes and ecospecies. I'm not going to define them very much, I'm just going to write some lines. Ecotypes. So what is ecotype? Ecotype is also called as ecological or physiological races. It is a synonym. It is also called ecological or physiological races. Okay, it is also called. Now it is a genetically different population of a species colonizing a different specific habitat is called an ecotype. A genetically different population of a species colonizing a different specific habitat is called an ecotype. Okay, so what is an ecotype? Ecotype is a genetically differing population of a species colonizing different specific habitat. Okay, now what are ecad or ecophenes? Ecad or ecophenes are a population of individuals which belong to same genetic stock but different due to different environmental conditions. Like we see Asians, Indians, Westerners, Easterners, like Japanese and all those guys. We all look different, right? So that is CAD or ecophenes, a population of individuals which belong to same genetic stock but differing due to differing environmental conditions, but differ due to different environmental conditions. Okay, now what are ecospecies? Ecospecies is a type of classification. Okay, ecospecies, this term ecospecies is a type of classification that contains one one or more than one ecotypes. If it is confusing, please leave this. Please skip this. Give me a moment. Okay, let's start again. Sorry for that. So the next term is, yes, it is important. Go to my white pen. It is keystone species. All right, 7. Sorry, keystone species. Now, what are keystone species? Okay, now what I'll write is the thing you guys should know, and then I'll give the elaborate one. So as per NCERT, these are organisms that drive major ecosystem functions. Okay, now this is the definition that is given as per NCERT. Now let's see what is the more real one. So what is the real one? That species that have a greater influence on communities characters on communities characteristics. Let me just go there. Characteristics in comparison to their lower abundance or biomass. Okay, let's take an example for this, and we will come to the related topic when we will study the species area relationship that states species richness is Ca to the power Z given by Alexander Humboldt. Okay, we will reach that part where this definition is given. Okay, so example is lions in a forest. Lions are relatively very lower in number rather than the other organisms. Okay, now let's start the chapter. Now let's get mainstream into the chapter. Okay, now hierarchy, ecological hierarchy. Let's start with ecological hierarchy. Okay, so guys, we did some part. Now let's start with ecological hierarchy. I am going to write the full ecological hierarchy, okay, and then I will just mark out those parts that are mentioned in NCERT, and that will be the most important part of the flow for you. Okay, even if you don't remember the rest, you can just skip that. Alright, so what is ecological hierarchy? First, what is the meaning of ecological hierarchy? Let me write that in the bracket. Okay, so it is the ecological grouping of organisms. Okay, now let me write the ecological hierarchy. Okay, so biosphere. Okay, then it's biome, then it's landscape. Okay, so you guys should, if you're writing it in the copy, then please write it like I'm writing, means follow the downwards order. Okay, I'm just writing beside, so it is easier for me to fit here in the small space so that I can mark for you guys. And then it is ecosystem, then it is community, then it is population, and then it is organisms. Okay, now this is the largest unit and this is the smallest. Organisms are the smallest unit of ecological hierarchy. Okay, and so let me just mark the terms that are given in NCERT, so you guys need to study. So as per NCERT, this is the rule, means the, what to say, the order that you guys will follow. Okay, just forget this, write the first biome, then community, then population, then organism. But if the question comes that what is the largest unit of ecological hierarchy, then it will obviously no doubt be biosphere. Okay, don't forget about that. So let's go again, so let's start again. So let's start defining these terms. Okay, let's start defining them. So let's start with organisms. Let's start with organisms. So what are organisms? Number one, organisms. Okay, I'm going to write some points, these are crucial. Okay, so this is the living unit of nature, basic unit of ecology, smallest unit of ecological hierarchy. This is the main thing you need to know. Smallest unit of ecological hierarchy. Okay, now then it's population. I am going to write an extra point here that this is the unit of evolution. And what is the unit of natural selection? Organisms. Okay, individuals, that is, sorry. And it is the unit of evolution. Population is the unit of evolution, and also that it is a group of individuals of same species. Group of individuals of same species that live in a particular area, present in a particular area. All right, now then let's come to community. So any guesses what a community might be? Yes, you guys did right if you have. Then it is group of individuals of different species of different species present in an area. Okay, so then what is biome? Let's straight go to biome. NCERT only. So what is biome? Biome is nothing but large ecosystem characterized by major vegetation types and associated fauna. Major vegetation type and associated fauna. let's say for example ocean biome. Okay, now I'm going to end this video here because I am going to keep it not very long, and I'll upload the next part as part 2. Okay, so see you guys there. Thank you.